practical application of Cantus Firmus. This is the point. Now, how to set up a Vesper? First of all, we need the text of the Vesper. Now, my question is, where can we find the text of the office? Where is the text of the office?
In the antiphonarium?
No, the music of the office is in the antiphonarium. But where is the text of the office? Of the prayers of the office?
In the breviarium?
Yes, in the Breviarium Romanum. Say it the correct way. Breviarium Romanum with the R, the R. Okay, in the Breviarium Romanum. So we need to take a Breviarium Romanum. Now, without taking the entire Breviarium Romanum and going up and down, up and down, up and down, let's go very quickly to this website where we can find the Officium Divinum already set up. Okay, this one. So
what's this site?
I showed this in the Cantus Firmus course. Probably you didn't check it. This is divinumofficium.com. Now, how to do this? First of all, let's go to the home page here. Let's go to the home page and let's check the liturgy of this Sunday, of the coming Sunday.
Yes.
Okay, so desktop. Now, first of all, we have to pay attention to the right, because here usually there is the regular setting is the 1960, these rubrics, but we don't need this to do Renaissance Cantus Firmus. We need the Tridentine version, 1570, the first one. So the Tridentine version. Now, let's set the date. This Sunday is the 13th, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Now we have the day. Now let's check the Vesper. Here. And we have our Vesper. Okay. Now, we don't need actually the Italian text. But okay, Latin. Okay, we haven't. But it's better maybe, to have double text or English. Okay. Now, this is the text. So, this is the Vesper. Pater Noster, Deus in Adiutorium, etc., etc.
Sorry, but what exactly is a Vesper? Sorry.
The Vesper is one of the prayers of the office, okay, which is around in the evening.
Yes. Okay. So they sing it in monasteries, no?
Yes, but it's a prayer which it's mandatory for all clerics, all priests even.
Okay. But the priest have to read it, but not necessarily sing it. So I don't know.
Yes, exactly. The duty consists in praying that. Then you can do the version, the big version with the chant. Okay.
Okay.
Now. Okay. This Sunday is Domenica Quinta post Pentecosten, semi-duplex Domenica minor. Okay. Now, Domenica Quinta post Pentecosten. So, this is the breviarium. Now we need the antiphonarium. So let's take the antiphonarium. We have Banchieri here, but I want the antiphonarium too in another page. Tonus perfectus and imperfectus, tonus authenticus and plagalis, tonus mixtus and commixtus. Learn the art of Cantus Firmus, the sacred chant of the Catholic Church, and everything a Musicus Practicus of the Renaissance had to know about Gregorian chant and its modality. Cantus Firmus is the second level of the Musicus Practicus Renaissance Path. Go to this link to explore the course content and start with the free levels. Then choose how to continue with the path that suits you best. Learn the art of music as if you had lived in the Renaissance. Nothing. Antiphonarium. Where is the antiphonarium? Antiphonarium is in Cantus Firmus. Where is Cantus Firmus? Here. Antiphonarium. Here it is. Antiphonarium Romanum. Now we have to scroll down because we are in the second part of the liturgical year. No, you have complete. Okay, do you see these are the completorium? These things are the common prayers. I mean, the one which belongs to the ordinary. Even the beginning of the Vesper, it follows some particular. Okay, Vesper Psalms, as you can see, they are written here. Now, Tempore Pascali, no. Domenica post Pentecoste. Okay, Domenica vigesima tertia, before is the fifth. Corporis Christi, almost. Corporis Christi. Antifone Sabbatina, no. Antifone Magnificat. Okay, you know, it's faster if we go to the index. There's no index, okay, wonderful. There's no index, I guess. Okay, so I mean, let's just follow the here we have the Proprium Sanctorum, so before Domenica Pentecostes, okay, so very close. Infesto Sanctissime Trinitatis, very close. Corporis Christi, where we were before, very close, very close. Corpori Christi, this is late, gone. Corpori Christi, gone, on, very long. Ok, Domenica infra octavam Corpori Christi. Ok, Domenica tertia post Pentecoste.
Yes,
Our is the fifth. Domenica sexta. Domenica quinta post Pentecoste.
Okay, yeah.
We are here. So we have Ad Benedictus. Where is the Benedictus? Is it in the Vespere? In the Vesperum?
I don't know.
No, it's in the Laudes. Remember, this is Cantus Firmus chapter 1. Then, Magnificat. Is this in the Vesperum?
Maybe yes.
Yes, it is in the Vesperum. So, si offers munus tuum ad altare et recordatus fueris quia frater tuus habet aliquid adversus te. This should be the antiphon of the antiphon at the at the Magnificat. Let's see if this corresponds. So Magnificat in the Roman Rite is at the end. Oh, here it is. Si offeres munus tuum ad altare et recordatus fueris. Here it is. So the Magnificat takes this antiphon. But you can say, but what are all the other chants of this liturgy? Okay, so because it's a normal Sunday, as you can see, we don't have particular we don't have a particular feast. The antiphons are the regular antiphons. So the regular antiphons of the Dixit Dominus is Dixit Dominus Domino meo, sede ad exeris meis. What does it mean? It means that the antiphon of this one is the antiphon of the regular Sunday. We don't have the proper antiphon of that Sunday for the standard. So let's go here to check where in this book we can find the regular antiphon. So this is page 315. Let's save this page. Let's do this. 315. Copy the page. Let's do another folder with where we can copy and paste the pages we need. Then we have to check if they are at the beginning or at the end of the book. In Nativitate Domini, so no, this is okay. This starts with Adventus, so we have to go probably to the end. In Festo Sancti Laurenzi, so in Festo Sant'Andrea. Okay, here there is the Proprium Vesperarum de Sanctis, so the Proprium de Sanctis. We have to stay in the Proprium de Tempore, not the Sanctis. Pro Laudibus. Okay. Now let's see what we have before. These are Antifone, De Beate Maria Virgine, Ad Completorium. Let's see, Ad Completorium, where we have the common of the Vespers. Pro Pace, De Apostolis, probably Canticum Sanctorum Ambrosi, okay. Ad Magnifica Antiphonam, Dominicis. Okay, no, here these are the last Sundays of the year, as you can see. Dominica Vigesima post Pentecosten. So if we scroll down, we find Salteri Romani, Pars Antifonario, ok, Sanctorum, il Te Deum Laudamus, ok. This. Antifone tot de Benedictus, this is written in Netherlands, you know that language.
Yes.
Benedictus antifona, feria terza, no, feria quarta, these are the regular antiphonals per annum. Per annum means the regular antiphonals. Antiphonals dominicalis, okay. This is the antiphonals we'll have to sing in the regular year. So when we don't have the specific antiphon of that feast, we will use the general antiphon. So these, Dixit Dominus, In Mandatis Eius, all of these are the antiphons of the regular year. Even the hymn here is Lucis Creatur Optime. Let's see what's the hymn. Lucis Creatur Optime. So we'll sing even the hymn here. In general, it works that we have a regular chant. When there is a feast or something which is stronger, we substitute, we change the regular chants with the chants in the text of the major feast. Okay? This is the principle. Clear?
Okay.
Now, let's take these pages and let's copy this. For example, look at this melody. Lucis Creator Optime. This is fa mi fa sol fa mi fa mi sol la sol fa sol la sol fa mi re la sol fa la. But when this is post octavam epiphaniae usque ad purificationem, even the same psalm, the same hymn has a different melody. So we may have, okay, in that case, if we are in this part of the year, we use the special element. It's like in the canonic, in the Juris, in the Codex Juris Canonici. You know what is it?
No.
You know, lex. You know how the law in general works? The lex.
Yes, yes.
So there is a generic lex, which is always valid, but the specific, the particular law, lex, is it's more important in the specific case. So this is the general chant, but when we are in that part of the year, we have this melody, for example.
But so it means that the antiphonarium is not the chants are not put
in the order, not necessarily. There are the several orders. You have to go ahead, come back, ahead, and come back. You have to do right and left according to the yes. For example, here in Dominica, if infra octavam festorum beate Mariae hymnus. So in Dominici, if you have a Dominica Sunday infra octavam festorum, so after the octave of the feasts of Mary, this is the melody. Then you have another Lucis Creatus Optime. Here we don't see any per annum. I don't see any other indication. And then Tempore Pascali, other antiphons in Tempore Pascali. Now let's stick to our regular section. So we have to copy these pages. Where is the Dixit Dominus? Here. So page 307, 8, and 9. So 7, 8, and 9. Then copy. Okay. Now let's come back and let's put it here after. Okay. Now this. Good. Let's check another thing. We have this Lucis, so Psalm. No, before. Okay, this is number. Where is the Dixit Dominus? Should be here. 1. So this is Psalm number 1. Then we have Psalm number 2. Three, 4, and 5. Do you see this Nos qui vivimus benedicimus Domino?
Yes.
Do you remember this? Because this is the antiphon nos qui vivimus, with which we sing the psalm in Exitu Israel, with the tonus peregrinus.
Yes.
Let's see what's the last psalm in Exitu Israel. Antiphon nos qui vivimus. So, do you remember that in Cantus Firmus in the Renaissance, when we have the psalm in Exitu Israel, and when we have the antiphon nos qui vivimus, so in a regular Sunday, we use the tonus peregrinus. But when we have another antiphon, we follow the tonus of the other antiphon. So here we know that it's a regular Sunday, so we use the tonus peregrinus. Now, let's start from the beginning. We have the psalm, Dixit Dominus Dominum meo, the first psalm. In a regular Cantus Firmus tradition, we should sing the antiphon. So we have to start with our antiphon. Let's do this way. Let's keep the text at the left. Here. Did you know that the fifth tonus or modus in the Renaissance could have as many as 5 different endings, finalis? C'è sol faut, ala mi re, and ela mi when used as a tonus, el faut and befabe mi when used as a modus. If you don't know these combinations, you are still missing the tools to truly understand Renaissance modality and Renaissance music. But if you feel the need to know the authentic way to read, study, and perform Renaissance music, then here's what to do. Click the link, discover the Tones and Modes course, the 4th level of the Musicus Practicus Renaissance Path, and get ready to learn music as you had lived in the Renaissance. Okay.
So I mean, I have to go to this website. I mean, it's necessary to.
I mean, it's easy because you have already there. Otherwise, you can download the breviarium, but I'll show you later. One thing at a time, please. Now, Dixit Dominus. Let's sing this antiphon. But pay attention because this Sunday is a semi-duplex Sunday. So the antiphon is only sung with the intonatio at the beginning. We don't have the entire antiphon. The entire antiphon is at the end. So only Dixit Dominus. What's the tonus of this? I mean, what was the clef? This is the septimus tonus, is written here. So what's the clef? This is a B. Mi, it's very high, so let's transpose this down a fifth. Mi, fa, sol, la, sol, sol, dixit, dominus. Then you start to sing the psalm. Fa, mi, fa, dixit, dominus, domino meo, sedes ad dextris meis. Why? Because secularum amen.
What do you sing? Yes, okay.
Secularum amen is written here because we may have different secularum amen. Only the second, the fifth, and the sixth tonus, only the second, the fifth, and the sixth tonus have their own single secularum amen. The other tones can have several secularum amen. The regular one is sol, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re in the septimus tonus. Here we have this secularum amen, so we'll sing this secularum amen. Now sing the first verset of Dixit Dominus with this secularum amen.
I didn't understand. You sung twice Dixit Dominus?
No, the first time is in the antiphon. The second time is the first verset of the psalm. It's a coincidence.
But where is it written?
Here, look at the left. Antiphon, ant.
Yes. But in the score.
In the score, this is the antiphon.
Yes.
Dixit Dominus. Then the psalm is not written. You have to know it by yourself. The psalm, you have only the indication of the secularum amen. It's not written the psalm.
I just have to someone knocked on my door. I just have to check it. I'm back 30 seconds. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, now, as I told you, the psalm is not written.
Yes. So,
The text is in the breviarium. So after singing the antiphon, the two appointed cantors, the cantori deputati, the two appointed cantors, start to sing the psalm with the septimus tonus. Fa, mi, fa,
so that's why we have to know all the... this is why you did the exercise in chapter 5 with the text and the syllabs and so.
Exactly.
Because it's not written and... Okay.
Yes, you have only the indication of the antiphon, and the tonus of the antiphons and the tonus of the psalm must match. So, if I sing only the intonatio at the beginning, because this is a semi-duplex feast, mi fa dixit dominus. Now, how would you sing the beginning of the psalm? Seventh tonus. Sing the seventh tonus. Fa, mi, fa, sol, dixit.
Dixit dominus domino.
No, yeah. This is the Mickey Mouse sound. What a moment. Dixit dominus domino meo, sedes ad dextris meis, because we follow di seculorum amen. Then, the second time, and the following verses, we directly start with the recite tone. Donec ponam inimicos tuos, scabellum pedum tuorum, virgam virtutis tue, emitte dominus exion, dominare in medio inimicorum tuorum, tecum principium in die. Here, virtutis tue, we may do the flexa, because there is a flexa, it's very long, the verses, so, tecum principium in die virtutis tue, in splendoribus sanctorum. Wait, here is difficult, the cadenza mezzana, sanctorum, splendoribus sanctorum. There are three syllables. Wait, let me review the psalm tone, because you know I don't used to sing the psalm tone every day. One moment. Lesson all. No, we are in Cantus recording Cantus Firmus, Psalm 7th. Here it is. Sola da da sola do. So the last four syllables exactly. The last four syllables with the which takes the accent. So tu splendoribus sanctorum doribus da la fa la sol la sanctorum because doribus, okay, splendoribus sanctorum ex utero ante luciferum genuite, and going on this way. Then, yet in saecula saeculorum, amen. And after this, Dixit Dominus Domino meo from the beginning. Dixi, mi, di, mi, fa, sol, la, dixit, dominus, domino, mino, meu, sedia, dextris meis. After this second psalm, Confitebor tibi Domine, and the antiphon is Fidelia omnia mandata eius. So even here, this is a fourth tonus. Mi, sol, la, fidelia. Then confitebor tibi Domine in toto corde meo, in consilio justorum en congregatione, with this seculorum ame, which is the regular one. And going on this way, at the end you sing again the entire antiphon. Now Banchieri comes
So
to
there
our...
are two psalms in the
Vesper?
Vespers.
No, 5 psalms. 2, it's too short.
Five.
Too short otherwise. 5
So
psalm, the hymn.
is mainly composed of psalms.
Yes, of course, it's the Psalterium, it's the prayer of the Psalterium of Psalms. Yes. Yes, these are the exactly.
And
Then,
why is this that the antiphon also has Dixit Dominus? Why maybe the
because the regular antiphon usually takes the text from the psalm. Even this Fidelia omnia mandata seius comes, so it's an excerpt from the psalm. Fidelia omnia mandata seius is an excerpt in the regular antiphon. Then when there is the antiphon of Christmas, the antiphon will talk about Christmas. Okay, that's feast.
Okay.
That's why. So in mandatis, in the Beatus Vir qui timet Dominus, in mandatis eius volet nimis. So in mandatis eius cupit nimis. It's an extract from the psalm. Then
and each psalm has always an antiphon.
Yes, always. You cannot sing a psalm without an antiphon. There may be some exceptions, okay, but not in Vespers, not in this. No, in this context, in the laudes. Now, see, at the end, oops, after this, there is the other psalm. Wait, I turned the page accidentally. Here. We have the Nos qui vivimus, so tonus peregrinus. Now, Banchieri. Why is Banchieri so interesting? Because we have these. We have this psalm, as you can see. Let's take the Dixit Dominus. So, no, this is the Magnificat. I don't remember if they are before or later. Let's see. No, this is the Kyrie for the Mass. Kyrie, so this is the part of the Mass. Victime Pascali, Mass. Then there is the Sonate. Secondo registro, primo registro. Ok, Magnificat. Secondo registro. Here, Psalm. What does A, La, Mi, Re mean? It means that the note A is La in the natural hexachord based on C ut, Ce ut. Mi in the soft hexachord based on F ut, and Re in the hard hexachord based on G ut. 7 letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 6 syllables ut, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, and 20 positions on the great scale. Learn to read music through hexachords, just like a true Musicus Practicus of the Renaissance and the Baroque. Click the link and explore the hexachordal solmization course and learn music as if you had lived in the Renaissance or in the Baroque. For example, you see, so you have this part. What does it mean? It means that the organ can play in alternatim with the Cantus Firmus. So the choir will sing, for example, De profundis clamavi arte Dominem. as you play the organ, the choir says the words, and then next verse. Then
what did you play exactly?
I played this bass with improvising counterpoint. It's the one of the earliest sources of partimento.
Okay, yes.
Okay, you have to improvise counterpoint, like an organ verset. Then fiant is the following verset, which is sung by the choir. Then the following verset again is played by the organ. And then the choir continues, alternating this way, as you can see, this way. Then you have an example for all the psalms. Here for Lauda Jerusalem Dominum, etc. As you can see. Then the very interesting part arrives with the Magnificat. Why? Because with the Magnificat we have, as you know, the intonatio, the solemn intonatio. But before talking about the Magnificat, let's see the hymn. Lucis Creator Optime. Do you see this? Do you see? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. This, let's take the hymn, Lucis, because arrived before the Magnificat. Lucis Creator Optime. It should follow the melody. Here, if you sing Cantus Firmus, okay, Lucis Creator Optime, here it is. Fa mi sol lucis creator optime. Otherwise, with the organ you can play it, and maybe you can even the singer can improvise. If you have a soprano, he can improvise a melody. Ut re fa mi re ut sol. Re fa mi re ut sol fa mi re do. For example, lucis creator optime. Then there is a rest, so it may do an imitation. Lucendie verum proferens primor cordis mis lucis novae this can be improvised or prepared or written based on this. And you can sing the hymn nelle domeniche per anno, so per annum means through the year, the regular year, and non impedite da feste doppie. Non impedite means where you don't have a festa doppia. In fact, we have a semi-duplex feast in that case, not duplex. Okay? Then the Magnificat. We have the Magnificat. So the antiphon of the Magnificat, as we said, should be... It's in the... Here, it's in here. Usually the Magnificat changes day after Sunday per Sunday. Each Sunday has its own Magnificat antiphon. Why? Because it's connected to the text of the Mass. Probably, you see this text, si offers munus tuum ad altare et recordatus fueris quia frater tuus habet aliquid. This is from the Gospel. You know?
Yes.
You know this? If you go to offer your sacrifice and your brother has something against you. So this is I put my hand on the fire 100% the text of the Sunday of that Mass, of the Gospel of that Mass. We want to check it. Let's see if we can switch the Mass here. Otherwise, we'll check it later. Sancta Missa here. Let's see the text of the Evangelium. before. Gradual Evangelium. Let's see. Here. Quia si ergo offers munus tuum ad altare et tibi recordatus fueris, quia frater tuus habet aliquid adversum te, relinque ibi munus tuum ante altare et vade prius reconciliari fratri tuo, et tunc veniens offeres munus tuum. This is an excerpt from the Gospel, which is the antiphon of the Magnificat. Do you see how all is connected?
Yes, okay.
Okay, now let's come back to the Magnificat. This is the antiphon, so you will sing this antiphon. Then there is the Magnificat. Now, what's the antiphon of this? What was the tonus of this antiphon? It's very long, the antiphon. But what's the tonus? You can see
it's F clef.
Yes, but check the relationship, because the finalis is the sol re. Here we have a fifth,
Yes.
a la mi re. So if you have a fifth, the a is primus tonus. It's even written here.
Yes.
Re la seculorum amen. And then
Yes.
after singing the antiphon, as you can see, now let's go to the Magnificat here. Magnificat. At the beginning, Magnificat. Wait. Magnificat, Oremus. No, before. Magnificat anima mea Dominus. So we sing only the intonatio at the beginning. Si offers. Then primus.
Then the psalm.
Then the psalm, but with the solemn intonatio. So we'll repeat the intonatio for each verset. Magnificat. Then remember that this is particular. The Magnificat is the first verset is singular. It is very different from the others in the Magnificat. You remember why?
No.
Because the first Magnificat anima mea Dominum. I show you. Let's go to the Magnificat here. Seculorum, not these are the regular verses. Let's go to the Magnificat. No, Initialis, Beatus Vir, later. Where did I put the Magnificat? Maybe before? I don't remember it. There are too many things. Tonus Peregrinus. Okay. Antifona. Magnificat. Magnificat. Now we don't do the cadenza flexa, because the first verset. So the first verset of the Magnificat directly starts with Magnificat. We don't do this one in the first verset, but Magnificat anima mea Dominum. And from the second verset, if you remember, we continue with the complete et exultavit spiritus meus in Deo salutari meo.
Shouldn't we do the Seculorum Amen that is written?
Yes. Seculorum amen in Deo salutari meo. Sol fa mi re salutari me sala sol fa mi re.
Yes.
Alla sol fa sol. Yes, I used the regular one.
Yes.
You're right. Seculorum amen. Salutari meo quiar expexit humilitate mancille sue Eccenim ex hoc beatam me dicent omnes generationes. And going on this way. Banchieri helps us with the organ. Why? Because let's go to the organo sonarino. Now, I don't remember if later or after, but let's find them. Here it is, Magnificat. You see? First tonus.
Yes.
This is the part of the organ. So, you can play this. Magnificat anima mea Dominum, anima mea Dominum. And then the soprano is in the other part, because this is left page and right page. So for example, your wife can sing anima mea Dominum, anima mea Dominum. They are in counterpoint, eh? This is in counterpoint. They work together. Now I cannot put the double view here, but in counterpoint. But I can do this. I can open this.
This part it's played on the organ with
or another singer or both. I mean, there may be two singers. This way. Let's put the second page here. Ligatures, mensurations, modus, tempus, and prolatio. Proportions, segni contrassegni, tactus, and color. No modern transcriptions, only historical scores. Learn to read white mensural notation without relying on any transcription, but directly from the Renaissance, directly from the original sources. Click the link and discover Cantus Figuratus, the third level of the Musicus Practicus Renaissance path, and learn to read music as if you had lived in the Renaissance. And this at the right. As you can see, if I read both melody, they work.
Okay.
So we can have anima mea Dominum, anima mea Dominum. Now what follows? Magnificat anima mea Dominum et exultavit spiritus meus in Deo salutari meo. But where is et exultavit? There's no here because it's Cantus Firmus. Et exultavit spiritus meus in Deo salutari meo. Then you join with the second part. Why? Because you have a different length in the psalm. So when you this is the middle cadence. I show you how. Quia expexit humilitatem ancille sue. Cadenza mezzana, and the other voice, the soprano. Quia expexit humilitatem ancille sue. Second part. Eccedim ex hoc beatam me dicens omnes generatio generationes. Now, I'm doing my best to read at the left and at the right at the same time. Eh?
Yes.
But this is the
That's
principle.
why it's developing Stravisi.
Exactly. Then the following verset is Cantus Firmus, so it's not written here. It's written here. Qui fecit mihi magna. Quia fecit mihi magna, qui magna qui potens est, et sanctum nomen eius. Even though with this polyphonic version of Cantus Firmus, I would use the regular Seculorum Amen because it better fits. Seculorum Amen. Then et misericordia eius. Et misericordia eius a progenies in progenies. Then timentibus Dimentibus eum, what is it? Fecit potentiam. Fecit potentiam in brachio suo, dispersit superbos in mente cordis sui. Deposit potentes. Let's take Banchieri. We have deposit potentes. Do you see? Because this is for the polyphony. So polyphony, the two voices in that case. Deposuit potentes des et exaltavit humiles. Next, we are almost at the end. Esurientes in plevit bonis et divites divisitinanes. Suscepit Israel. Now your neighbor will think that you are in your house now is a church. Suscepit Israel puerum suum, recordatus es misericordiae suae. Then there is sicut locutus esat Patres nostros Abraham et seminis eius in saecula. Gloria Patri, Banchieri. Here, is different now. Gloria. Wait. If I have to say, sing and play, shut up, because I cannot. I mean, it's difficult to read at the left and at the right. If you sing over, I lost all. Gloria Patri et Filio Okay, wait a moment, I lost myself. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui. There's a mistake. This should be a D because it doesn't match in counterpoint. Then et Spiritui Sancto. And the Magnificat is finished. Now the antiphon should be repeated entirely. So, si offeres munus from the beginning. Si offers munus tuum ad altare et recordatus fumus up to Tuum Alleluia. Then there are the Precious Feriales, Oraciones, which is sung by the priest, etc. The hebdomadary. Then the commemoratio, because in that day we have even a sant feast, the feast of one sant, which is San Bonaventura. So because it's Sunday, there is the commemoratio, which is a little prayer in memoriam commemoratio Sancti Bonaventure Episcopi Confessoris. And then the Oremus, then Suffragium, because this is Tridentinum, is something which belongs to this rite, the Tridentine rite, and after this, the Apostolis, etc., etc., and at the end, the Conclusio, okay? Pater Noster, etc., etc. Stop. This is how Cantus Firmus is set, for example, in the Vesper, okay? It's a big word, It's a big word.
And Banchieri, these settings are actually used with organ and polyphony, and where sorry, I'm trying to set up my thinking and my thoughts. I thought that every mass was similar with really strict Cantus Firmus, but here it's with Banchieri. Was it used in actual offices and?
Yes, polyphony and Cantus Firmus at the same time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What if you were a musicus living in the 16th century Italy? What if you had studied with Palestrina, Josquin or Lassus? What would you have learned? What subject would you have studied? What counterpoint exercises would you have practiced? And what kind of musical training would you have followed? Today, people talk a lot about strength and style, but almost no one guides you through the actual path of a formation of a musicus practicus of the 16th century would have taken. For years, I searched for such a method, not just to understand how Renaissance music was written, but to step inside the musical mind of that time. So I decided to rebuild that path. And that's how the Musicus Practicus Renaissance was born. A truly authentic journey based on real historical practices designed to train you like a true Musicus Practicus of the Renaissance. A complete program grounded in historical sources that guides you step by step to read, sing and think and compose like a musician of the 15th and 16th century. Discover all the levels of the path on the Musicus Practicus Academy and start today with the free levels that you can find on the platform. Then choose the complete path that suits you best and learn the art of music as if you had lived in the Renaissance. Yes, you can use the organ with Cantus Firmus. We are not in the 10th century. I mean, with Banchieri we are in the 17th century, 16th, 17th century. So this was very common to use the organ this way, yeah?
Okay. So here you played first Banchieri, then Cantus Firmus, and go back and go back.
Yes, exactly. We have the alternation. Why? Because there is the choir with the Cantus Firmus book, so the antiphonary, and then the organist with that book, the organo sonarino, which is for the organist, and even other two singers, as you can see. Yes. So the organo sonarino is a useful book for the organist. If you go to the organo sonarino and you check the beginning, this is a book for the organist. So organo sonarino di Adriano Banchieri Bolognese, so by Adriano Banchieri from Bologna. Bolognese is not the ragù, you know, entro il quale si pratica quanto occorre suole agli suonatori d'organo per alternare corista agli canti fermi in tutte le feste e solennità dell'anno. What does it mean? In which book we talk about what the organist must know in order to alternate the chorista, so the choral voice setting of Cantus Firmus with all the canti fermi in all the feasts and solemnity of the years. trasportato e tradotto dal canto fermo, so transposed and translated from Cantus Firmus, sotto la guida di un basso in canto figurato, under the guide of a bass in Cantus Figuratus, suonabile e cantabile, which can be played and sung, con intelligibile docilità, smartly divided into 5 chapters, which he calls registers. In the first chapter, and then going on. But of this book, there is an English edition. You may like to have with English translations by Belotti. So in Levante. I see that Marcel enjoys the Cantus Firmus.
Yes.
So il Levante, Adriano Manchieri, organo, suonarino. This one with English text, okay? You find the Italian and English text and modern edition. This can be useful, for example, if you want to understand the English text, okay?
But his is for the antiphonarium or for the
both.
For the office or for the mass?
Both, because in the first chapter si concerta la Santa Messa secondo gli salmi, in the first the Mass, in the second Salmi Vespertini, so the Psalm of the Vespers, in the third the hymns, in the fourth the Magnificat, and in the fifth the hymns to Mary hymns. In fact, go to the first chapters, you'll find Kyrie, Christe, Kyrie, to play in alternative. La Kyrie, you know this Kyrie? The Kyrie Orbis Factor, Kyrie Dominicalis, come on.
I mean, you don't see my the liturgy where I live because
okay, but anyway, this is
very
true. But even where I live,
like
we have there is another rite in Milano, the Ambrosian rite. So these chants are not sung at all. But in general, this is the Kyrie Dominicalis, and you can see the organ partimento for the Kyrie. Then Kyrie, the choir. Then the organ again. Or better, wait a moment. This is the organ. Yes. Kyrie. And then Christe. Then Kyrie. So there is the 9 Kyrie. Organ, Kyrie 1. Choir, Kyrie 2. Then organ, Kyrie 3. Choir, Christe 1. Choir, organ, Christe 2. Choir, Christe 3. Organ, Kyrie 1. Organ, Kyrie 2. Or better, sorry. Choir, Kyrie 2. And organ, Kyrie 3. There are 9 at the end, as you can see. Organ, 1, 3, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay?
Okay.
Then it's not finished. Gloria. Then it's not finished. Sanctus. Then it's not finished. Credo is is later. Credo. We have it. The Credo. The Credo, where is it? I don't find it here, but we have it somewhere. Then the other the sequence, Victime Pascali. The organ. Then Cantus Firmus from. Then imitation. wood. And you can play the organ, and another singer, you can play the organ improvising the verse. Another singer, the bass singer, can sing the bass. Morset vita duello conflixere mirando dux mortus regnat vivus. Okay, and there is alternation. That's why the bass can be sung and played, as Banchieri says in the first page.
Okay.
This is a very nice book to put together Cantus Firmus and organ.
Yes.
This is the way they used to sing the Mass and the Vespers in the late Renaissance.
Okay. And there you improvise for voice?
Yes, and then you improvise for voice on the bass.
And there are different rules than, I mean, what we study in the partimento methods. Do
Yes,
you
but
change the style?
Yes, but pay attention to don't use such things like diminished seventh, because they don't belong to the style. This is this is late Renaissance, so closer to counterpoint than partimento in later style. I mean, this is not German partimento Muffat or Durante with arpeggios and scales.
Of course.
Neither Fenaroli.
Yes, of course.
This is a very simple partimento in terms of harmonies, because it's more counterpoint. But the rules are still valid. If you can realize a partimento, you have to know some rules about Renaissance counterpoint. Just play some Renaissance composition on the keyboard and you get into the style.
Okay, like in Cavazzoni,
Yeah.
You sent me the...
Cavazzoni or other motets written for, transcribed for the keyboard. Motets transcribed for the keyboard, or masses transcribed for the keyboard, are useful to get the fingers into that style.
Okay.
If you had been born in the time of Palestrina, Josquin or Lassus, one of the very first things you would have studied as a musicus practicus of the Renaissance was Cantus Firmus, the sacred chant of the Roman Catholic Church in all its aspects. You would have learned to recognize and identify the 8 ecclesiastical tones: tonus perfectus and imperfectus, tonus authenticus and plegalis, tonus regularis and irregularis. You would have studied the mixtio perfecta and imperfecta, a tonus authenticus participating in its plegalis or a plegalis participating in its authenticus. You would have perceived both commixtio perfecta and imperfecta, as well as the major, minor and mixta commixtio. You would have explored the effects that each tonus has on the mind, how it shapes the soul, which is the tonus of piety, of death, of lamentation, and their relations to the planets in the ancient harmony of the spheres. All of these and much more you can now study in the second level of the Musicus Practicus Renaissance Paths, entirely dedicated to Cantus Firmus. Click the link, explore the content of this course, and begin with the free level you can find on the Musicus Practicus Academy free. Then choose the complete path that suits you best and learn the art of 16th century music as if you had lived in the Renaissance.